Hello and a warm welcome to It's My Life, the program that brings you face to face with the top politicians of the country. This week we are in the state of Uttar Pradesh in the town of Padrona, which is very close to Gorakhpur. And it's the same place where Lord Buddha had his last meal. Our guest this week is someone very special, a young enterprising face of Congress. He's also Minister of State, holding a crucial portfolio. Let's meet Ratanjit Pratap Narayan Singh this time. Ratanjit Pratap Narayan, popularly known as RPN Singh, currently is a Minister of State for Home Affairs in the UPA government. Born on April 25, 1964, RPN is a product of the Doon School. Not everyone knew RPN Singh of the Congress, but his first election as an MP from the Kushinagar constituency of Uttar Pradesh created a buzz about him securing a ministerial berth. RPN is the son of RPN Singh, who held key cabinet portfolios during Indira Gandhi's time. But after RPN Singh's death, RPN, who belongs to the royal family of Padrona and has been MLA for 12 years, won by a heavy margin. Married to the prominent NDTV's anchor and editorial director Sonia Singh, RPN is blessed with 3 daughters. Welcome RPN on It's My Life.
Thank you, Nick.
We begin the journey of the program from this ancestral temple of RPN Singh, where he goes for the darshan every day. It's a great
Great-grandfather. And they were great Vaishnavites, and they believed in Krishna Bhagwan. And in fact, they were such great believers, whatever came to the house used to have 2 things of it. One used to go to the temple first, and the other one used to come here. The Pujari here is the 7th generation guy from Gwalior. They came 7 generations ago. Kyun Vakil sir? इलेक्शन आयल बा तो कुछ बदल सकेला.
RPN, what are the kind of petitions with which the people come here? It's basic problems like roads. What is it exactly?
Basically, they are basically village problems that they come with. There is no electricity in the village. The roads in the village, they need some drains. Some people, as usual, a lot of people are in government services also. So obviously they would like their families or brothers or whatever sons to be transferred to places of their choice.
But the kind of environment you're working in is quite challenging because you have a Samajwadi Party government which is in the state. So how difficult is it for you to be politically correct to the people who come with the petitions, come with their problems?
No, whatever is right, we try to enforce that it should be done. Well, obviously impediments of the government, unfortunately in today's time, if the state government and the central government aren't on the same plane, obviously there are problems in development and other avenues also.
We've reached a village called Narangia where RPN has come down to meet the people. Out of love and affection, people address him as Kuwarji or Bhaiyaji. When on tour in the villages, RPN is generally stopped by the enthusiastic Congress workers and the people. sometimes even dragged into homes.
इसमें अब जो जमीन है उसका जमीन को जमीन जो उनमें से ट्रैक लगी होकर जमीन के अधिग्रहण करेंगे। केंद्र सरकार से जिनकी जमीन है उसके लिए पैसा भिजाया जा रहा है। विजय दुबे जी और मैं मिलकर दोनों इस काम को शीघ्र ही करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि यहाँ के लोगों को भी ट्रेन में अगर तम कोई रात जाके पड़ी एक बार और चाहता नहीं ट्रेनवा से भी हो जाए तो बबुइया किसी के चाहे कोई रिश्तेदारी होने जरूर हुई ना। नेता बनाने का मौका आप लोगों ने दिया क्योंकि आपने मुझे विजयी बनाया। अगर फिर बनाएंगे मैं आपको इस बात दिलवाना चाहता हूँ कि ईमानदारी के साथ इस क्षेत्र में काम करने की कोशिश करूँगा।
Small places like these, people have religious aspirations. This particular spot where I am right now, villagers here want a small temple of Kali Devi to come up. And that's what RPN is announcing right now.
RPN Singh Vijay Dubey! Jindabad! Jindabad!
We've reached a village called Kotwa Kala, but you can see it's not easy to be a politician, especially when you've got to reach out to the people, come hail, come storm. Since the time we've begun this trip, it's not stopped raining, and still it is raining. But you can see RPN wading through the puddle, through the soil, through the water. RPN, for you as an MP, what do you think is the biggest challenge right now?
Oh, well, you know, I come from, as you've been in my constituency, you can see we are right on the border of Bihar. We are right in the last, or on the fag end of my district. It is one of the fag end of the state. It has got a lot of problems as far as health issues are there, educational issues are there. Infrastructural development was very poor.
What do you say about the coalition era in Indian politics? Is it really going to ascend, or it's going to maybe become stationary at a certain point? How do you see the coalition politics evolving?
Well, I think I see a slight, you see a change at least happening in states now. We used to have in a place like Uttar Pradesh, we had coalition governments for many years. Now people have started giving full mandate. They've given a full mandate to the BSP here. They gave a full mandate to the Samajwadi Party here. In Bihar also, though they were in coalition, BJP, the JDU and the BJP. But you see, the JDU nearly got full majority on its own. In Punjab, we had election, we had full majority there. In Karnataka, they gave a full majority to the Congress Party. So the other governments which are going on.
So you mean to say that a single majority party system at the state level and a coalition at the center level, is the new political format is going to work like that?
No, I think people slowly and definitely are realizing that state elections and general elections are two very different things.
Talking to you about the stint in Home Ministry, NCTC is still in a limbo. Will we ever see a kind of a consensus coming up on NCTC? What exactly is happening? Is the government really serious on that front?
No, well...
Because there are hurdles from so many states.
Yes, the states have been extremely vehement in not letting that act come out.
Right.
So I think that is something we have actually put on the back burner.
Despite all the intelligence inputs given by the center to the states, we've seen Naxal attacks happening where a number of Congress leaders died. Then you've just had a blast in Bodh Gaya. And then there were reports coming up that, the senior officials were coming and they took a wrong aeroplane, which they were not supposed to, and they reached late. So I'm not blaming any person at right now per se that the government is not doing its job, but how can one avoid situations like these?
We have opened 4 more hubs of the NSG. We set up the NIA. So we have actually, we're strengthening the institutions that we have come up with. It is very
But is there enough coordination?
Yes, there is enough coordination. And as I said earlier, even a small error or a small kind of delay of can turn into a big story. But, I would just like to take this opportunity to say our institutions, be it our intelligence institutions, are being repeatedly dismantled in public by political parties, by the press. We do not give them enough.
And why are you forgetting judiciary? By the judiciary as well?
Well, I would like to keep the judiciary out of it. But yes, we really need to look at them. And sometimes I think we don't give them the due, the kind of praise that should be given to them, because we know all their mistakes and all the errors which are larger than life. But nothing is reported of their successes.
It's a very important point when you're talking about institutions. Now, of late we saw the Apex Court commenting on CBI, the way it functions. And the government, of course, is working on a legislation which brings more autonomy to the CBI. What exactly is the real problem? Because you are seeing things at a certain distance from which an Aam Aadmi can't see.
When I see reporting on institutions, on these kind of organizations, people who are writing these stories, I'm not saying some very good stories also written and many journalists are well informed, but I see a lot of stories where they only know about 10%, 20%, 30% of the whole truth. And to formulate your opinions on that kind of information, that they're gathering from offices or hearsay or eavesdropping, is something I think does not do justice to the whole story. I think in these kind of stories, we have to look at all the angles and know the whole story before the whole truth, before making judgments.
Food security ordinance has just been passed. What do you think now is the biggest challenge? Is it the delivery? Is it the implementation?
The main thing is implementation and delivery is the key issues. I'm not saying that a lot of state governments are also doing a good job as far as delivery systems are concerned, and all state governments must try and improve their delivery systems. But some states are doing well, some are doing average, and some are doing badly. So I think with the food security bill, we put a lot of checks and balances.
But do you agree that it would be a game changer, especially when elections are around the corner for Congress?
I think this is something we have already been always trying to do.
So you feel that you can win the hearts of the people through the belly?
Is it not a duty of a fellow human being to make sure, forget a politician, to make sure that none of his fellow human beings starve?
We've reached a place called Deoria and are at the district jail where RPN has gone inside to meet the inmates from his own constituency. Being Minister of State for Home puts the extra pressure of addressing the press on all issues, be it a visit to the jail or any news related to security. RPN is out there talking tough.
कोई भी कदम अगर केंद्र सरकार को नक्सलवाद के खिलाफ और आतंकवाद के खिलाफ उठाना है, और हमने दिखाया है, कदम उठाया है, हमने हमेशा कठोर कदम उठाए हैं और उठाते रहेंगे.
Time for a short break now. Don't go away. We'll come back with lots more on RPN Singh. Back in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching It's My Life with Minister of State for Home, RPN Singh. This is Udit Narayan Degree College at Padrona, established by RPN Singh's forefathers.
मैं चाहता हूं कोई सवाल अगर आपको मुझसे पूछना है तो ज़रूर पूछिए कि इंटरेक्शन के लिए बुलाया गया है आप लोगों को।
आपके मन में कोई मजाकिया सवाल है, कोई सीरियस सवाल है, कोई भी सवाल आप पूछ सकते हो, अपनी भाषा में पूछो।
आईएएस बनने के लिए कौन सा पढ़ाई?
आईएएस के लिए देखिए, आप आर्ट्स भी कर सकते हैं, साइंस भी कर सकते हैं, लगन से शिक्षा करनी पड़ेगी और ऑलराउंड डेवलपमेंट करना पड़ेगा।
सबसे पहले मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि सबसे यहाँ के पहले बच्चों को एडमिशन की जाए, तब अन्यथा दूसरे विद्यालय के।
ठीक है, मैंने ऐसा है कि जब मैं प्रबंधक बना था तो मैंने पहले किया था कि प्राथमिकता डिग्री कॉलेज में जो उदित नारायण इंटर कॉलेज के बच्चे पढ़ के जाते हैं, क्योंकि एक ही संस्था के दोनों बच्चे हैं, तो जो इंटर कॉलेज से पढ़ के लोग जाएंगे उनको प्राथमिकता उदित नारायण डिग्री कॉलेज में अवश्य दी जाएगी। आपका एडमिशन तो मैं बोल नहीं सकता, अगर आप मार्क्स में आएंगे उदित नारायण इंटर कॉलेज का, अब रउरा 40 ही आप 40 ही अंक पाएँ, 10 भी दे दूँ तो 50 ही भइल ना, तो मैं कैसे हो पाई।
आप मेरे आदर्श हैं, आपके जैसे कैसे बन सकते हैं?
मेरे जैसे आप क्यों बनना चाहेंगे यार, राजनीति में तो ज़रूर मत आइएगा, बहुत मुश्किल काम है। और उसमें तो आजकल देखते हैं ज़्यादा शिक्षित भी होने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, पर मैं कोशिश करूँगा कि आप मेरे जैसा बनना चाहेंगे तो मैं आपको राय बताऊँ। पर मैं तो ऐसे आपको बता सकता हूँ, स्कूल में बहुत कम शरारत करता था, पढ़ता कम था, तो नेतागिरी में आ गया। पर मैं समझता हूँ आज के युग में अगर आप राजनीति में आना चाहिए, अपने को बिल्कुल सच रखना चाहिए, अपने से सच्चाई बोलनी चाहिए और सच पर चलना चाहिए। तो पहले तो मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूं कि आप मुझे ऐसा समझते हैं कि आप मेरे कर कमलों पे चलना चाहते हैं।
Arpin, what are the pressures of being a home minister actually? You're always there in the thick of things.
Well, there's certain things which are not in the control of being a minister of state for home. The things are unfortunately certain things which is not directly in our control. We have some very unfortunate incidents, like we've had some very terrible Naxal attacks. We've had this very recently, strongly condemned that attack, but the Mahabodh temple was attacked. So these are things which you need to be on top of the situation very, very fast. And it's always a continued struggle to take on, to make sure that there are no terrorist activities taking place within this country, how we can take action against them. A big thing as far as I've been has been this women's bill, which we managed to do after that really dastardly act that took place in Delhi. And that is something we have continued working on, how to ensure safety for women.
You were also MOS for road transport and highways. So which ministry did you enjoy more?
Everything is a different experience. In the road ministry, you can see immediately the roads if you pass. Right. I was in petroleum ministry also, so right. That is something that's a completely different kind of aspect of everything. Right. So I think I was in the corporate affairs also for a little while. So meaning I can think each has been a learning experience.
When you're talking to various ministers, every minister has had his or her share of controversy. But you've been kind of away from all this.
Well, I can all say is touch wood. I think in today's world and in today's television world, politicians are under extreme scrutiny, and sometimes is more about speculation than actually pinpointing them to be at fault somewhere. We are human. We can always make errors. But obviously, even a small error by a minister is blown out of proportion because in the position he stays in.
Your dad was also a minister, and quite a robust minister when he was. And when you saw his days and now when you see the way the politics is evolving, do you think that now the days have become tougher to sustain as a politician?
Well, definitely, because people are far more educated, far more demanding, and I think evolving democracy, that is something really good.
But when you talk about the index of accountability, how do you see that when you saw it during the term of your dad and now when you see it?
Yeah, accountability was there then also. People expected you to be honest, people expected you to do some kind of work. But today there's a new generation of people who is far more exposed to television, far more exposed to the Facebook, far more exposed to media. So they know exactly, they're connected with the world and they see how the world is evolving, how other parts of this country are evolving. So they also want their city or their village or their area to be some kind of development coming to them.
sprawling ancient palace in Padrona where RPN Singh stays when he is in his constituency. The structure is a reminder of the royal days when India was divided into the princely states. Not many people have been inside the haveli except for the close relatives and friends. RPN, talking about your personal life, how did you actually enter into politics?
Nilu, I never wanted to be in politics actually. My father definitely was in politics. But when I was 14 years old, I told my father I want to join the World Bank or the UN.
Okay.
And he said, okay, you can go and work in the World Bank. What will happen to all the house and stuff like that? I said, well, I don't want to stay here. So I'd like to work in the UN or the World Bank. So in the ceiling case, which was my share, the 18 acres, he put an orchard for me. He said, when you come back once a year, at least you'll have that orchard
to take care of.
So I always wanted to be in the UN or the World Bank. But my father died before I could even contest elections. So I shifted back to, after my father's death, I had to come back to Padrona. And I started staying here, looking after all the property and the cases and stuff like that. So one thing led to the other. When you live in a small town, you automatically get somebody who's been in politics. So my father never encouraged me, and nor I had the inclination to be in politics at that time.
But you don't regret the decision now that you entered into politics?
Well, you have to be very thick-skinned to be in politics. I think it takes a long time to get a thick skin. But the advantages are you manage to make a difference in your constituency. God has been kind, and you've been made a minister. So the Congress leadership has been kind, and you've been made a minister. I've had the great opportunity of making small changes, which I think has been the plus point of being in politics.
But what are the challenges which a royal family really faces, especially in present times when that royalty era is no more?
As I said, I never had a challenge of coming from the family that I came in. In fact, it was an advantage from the family I came from, because people automatically respected you, not because out of fear, but because of the kind of thing your family has managed to do for the people of this area. So I think that actually added, instead of being a challenge, it was in fact a great boost, asset for being from a family like this.
People I've seen who are working here and across Padrona address you still as Kuwarji or Bhaiyaji.
Meaning that is something which carries on from the older times, but the younger generation, if you see the younger generation who's much younger than me also, they don't even call me that, so they can call me sir, or sometimes I'm surprised, spatterings of English, they even call me uncle, which is a bit embarrassing. But
politicians always complain that they are not able to spend enough time with the family. Are you able to do justice to your kids, to your wife?
Any profession you are in, Nilu, you have to make out time for your family. It's not the time you spend with your children, it's not the quantity of time you spend with your children, it's the quality of time. I try to spend some time with them. We try to take short holidays for 3-4 days with the children.
But what about other passions like reading, listening to music?
Well, I think that all takes a back seat at the moment since I've become a minister, because there's so many other things, and traveling. As you can see, you've been in my constituency. There's just, it's just, time is very short when you're in your constituency. So reading or listening to music, music you can listen to sometimes in the car if you're driving, but reading obviously comes what you could read so much earlier. There's obviously very little space for that. Try to do that.
A wife being a journalist, what is it exactly?
I think we've come to a very happy medium as far as my being a politician, her being a journalist, is we leave our jobs at the doorstep. So we never discuss our jobs once we're at home. So I think we don't exchange notes about what my party or I am doing, or what her work is in a workplace is. So I think we never come into a discussion as far as that is concerned.
What next for a man called RPN Singh?
I'm at such a thing that I haven't been in politics now for over 22 years, 23 years now. Doesn't leave me at this stage of my life to do anything else. I've been in politics now for 23 years, as I said. Well, I would like to continue in some way or the manner, try to help my constituency and any kind of small changes that I can make in the betterment of this country or my constituency. Let's see where life takes me.
I'm sure
Or one place I never wanted to be in politics. Here I'm in politics. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
that's what is called destiny, and I wish all your dreams come true and you go a long way. It's a pleasure having you on the program.